Tradespoon. My name is Vlad Karpel. I'm CEO and founder of Tradespoon, and today we're going to have our weekly strategy roundtable where we talk about current market conditions, what to expect in the next couple weeks, next couple months. Look at the earnings, look at the tariffs, look at the debt ceiling, macro, micro, see where opportunities in the market is and how much further can the market rally. For those of you who are new, welcome. This is my brief bio. I don't know if we have any new subscribers. Anyone new? But this is my brief bio. My background is technology. We have Keith who joined us in live trading room. We have live trading room in the morning session, closing bell session. My background technology, writing AI models, neural networks, managing teams of engineers and quants. Keith's background is running portfolio, asset allocation, portfolio construction, rebalancing. He's an expert in options. He's been a market maker. So it's a great addition to the team. And now we have two people that bring a lot of experience and value. And you can see it in the live trading room or by visiting our website. Disclosures are very important. Trading does involve risk. If this is the first time you see the slide, I encourage you to visit optionscreening.com so you can understand the risk and suitability associated with trading stock or options. And basically that I'm not an advisor, and I'm here to show you what I do in my own account based on my own risk tolerance level for educational purposes only. All right, so before we jump into trading plan, let's look at the market conditions. So looking at the SPX, some of you were in live trading room, most of you were not. Spiders, next 10 days still shows an uptrend, potentially reaching 640 level or as high as 650 level. I agree with the model. I think by the end of the earnings season, we are probably in the middle of it. We still have Microsoft and Amazon, Apple announcing earnings next week. We already had Netflix, Google, and Tesla announcing earnings. So SPX is currently approaching, the all-time high, retesting all-time high. Let's look at Monday. Right, so making marginal highs, approaching 640, 6,400 on SPX. So I agree with the model. We could have another leg up. We're just in the middle of the earnings season. Next week, we're going to have that August 1st deadline is coming due. We already had an agreement with Japan. Market reacted positively to that. But we still have Canada, I think Mexico, and European Union. So, at least from what I understand, they're not going to push the deadline. I mean, if they do push the deadline forward, I guess that's positive for the market. But if they don't push the deadline and there is no agreement, then the market can pull back. So that is something I would consider. If you look at the gamma exposure, right? If you look at the gamma exposure, it actually changed. It was 6,500 yesterday. Today it's 6,400. What does it mean, right? If you don't trade options, why is this important? All it means is that right now there is a very large position at 6,400 and 6,500, right? So the 6,400 is becoming the big overhead resistance that the market needs to break through. And after that, it's 6,500, right? It's 6,500. So that's the call wall that the market needs to break through. On the downside, on the flip side, the gamma is at 62.72. So this green positive gamma, what it means is that the dealers are considered net long, often from calls, which means they will buy as prices fall and sell as prices rise, stabilizing market and lowering volatility, right? So as long as we are above 627, 625, it's a positive gamma, and any type of pullback, especially if you're short-term aggressive trader, that is an opportunity to go long, right? That is an opportunity to go long. That's something I would consider, right? On the upside, you have 6,400. We're already at 6,400. I would trim some of my long position, and I did that today. If we break through the 6,400, let's say on Microsoft and Apple earnings next week, okay, then the next level will be 6,500. So that's how I would approach. I'm not sure if you can break much further than 6,500, based on the earnings so far, right? So I think 6,400 is your first resistance. 6,500, I would start trimming your cash positions. So if you look at let's just look at August expiration, right? Let's start thinking about end of this earnings season and September expiration. So that's where most of the gamma, right? But when I say gamma, think about options. People buying and selling options at certain strikes, certain levels, right? You can see that August, there's about $29 billion in August. Not a lot of gamma. April there was 120 billion, 140 billion. So consider to April, May, people are not hedging, right? VIX is below 15, so position is a lot less. And there's about 30 billion in September. Actually, September has a little bit higher, almost the same gamma, which is interesting. And that, to me, that means that people are preparing for September and October to be, from seasonality point of view, weaker stock market, and preparing for bigger pullbacks into September, which I agree. Personally, I agree. Right. So one standard deviation on the upside, 6,500, 6,600, right? By August, September, right? So that's scenario number one. Right, scenario number one, we're trading somewhere between 65 and 60. Well, scenario number one, we're going higher, right? That's scenario number one, right? Based on, most people are wrong based on supply and demand for options data, or based on our models. And we're going to have, Nvidia is going to just hit a home run, and we're going to sign agreements with China, Canada and Mexico, and we're going to raise the debt ceiling and print a lot of cash. Great. Scenario number one, right? Two standard deviation, right? Trading is about distribution of possible outcomes, right? So you see these lines that basically says, based on future volatility and future demand for option contracts, one sigma move is 6,500, right? And then, that's your resistance, large resistance. So scenario number one, we break through this. Scenario number two, we're trading in this range, 6,500, where the largest gamma is, to somewhere, there's not a lot of gamma here, okay, 6,200. All right, and scenario number three, we break through 6,000 level. There's very high open interest. It's still at 6,000. So, signs of recession, or we don't sign an agreement with China and European Union, and we slap, 30% tariffs across the board. Okay, then you have scenario number three, right? So scenario number one, everything is great, and all the stars align, and we're going above 6,500. Scenario two, we're trading in the range. We're buying at 6,200. We're selling at 6,500. And scenario number three, no buyers step in, signs of recession, maybe unemployment ticks up, and then scenario number three. All right, so let's think about it. This is an important exercise. Why is this important? Because even if you're a stock trader or an option trader, it doesn't matter, right? You want to know how much money you're willing to risk and how much cash you should have in your account. To answer those questions, the only way you can do it is to go through these positive and negative rehearsal exercises. I'm looking at August, July. That's the most popular timeline for our subscribers. But some people think about, doing day trading. Some people are holding position for quarters, years. Whatever the timeline is, you go through this exercise, right? Here's if I'm right, here's if I'm wrong. And, that helps you determine the position size, because to be a successful trader, you need to have kind of a concept of position size. All right. So how many of you say scenario number one? We're going to move 2 standard deviation to the right. Scenario number two, we're trading in a range somewhere between 6,500 and 6,200. And scenario number three, we're dropping below 6,000. Andre, too. Okay, thank you. Ed, Michelle, Santiago, Dr. Simon, Tim, anyone else? All right, I'm also going to go with scenario number 2. I agree. I think we're trading in a sideways. July has been a good month. August, I think, is a neutral month. So I think we trade sideways, maybe slightly bullish bias. I mean, I would not be surprised to see 6,500, right? That the 6,400 is taken out. You know, if we sign an agreement with Canada and Mexico or European Union, we'll be at 6,500. I think it's just we're one good news away. But anything outside of 6,500, right, 6,600, I don't see it, right? So, so for that reason, you know, for now, 6,400, 6,500, I'm trimming. 6,200, 6,300, I would add to positions. Any questions? All right, so how do we help on Tradespoon? So we already went through stock forecast toolbox. I think this is a great tool. You can put your portfolio, right? This is the stocks from active trader today. Sometimes I put, you know, my own position, you know, some other positions. So Bank of America, General Electric, Nvidia, and STX, right? You can see these stocks under active trader. I'm watching these stocks. You can create this portfolio, right? So Bank of America, General Electric basically says if you see 47, you know, you look at the pre-market futures and if they're not down, right, then you buy at yesterday's close, right? 48.39, we're at 48.23. You buy, right? If it drops below 479. 479.90, 1% down, then you would exit the trade. If it goes to 48.87, you also exit the trade. And you know, encourages you to divide the trade in two, right? 48.39. If it drops to 48.15, you add, right? And then that would be the proposal. So these are the signals. They occur on daily basis. Active trader is an aggressive trader. You can trade stocks, you can trade options, but the idea is that you have you know, these signals, suggested entry price, like General Electric, right? Suggested entry prices, Nvidia, and you trade these signals. You can put them, you know, other signals like STX is in strong uptrend, so I put STX in here. And gives you predicted low and predicted high, right? So it gives you predicted low and predicted high. And then where the stock right now, right? You can also have company screeners. If you want to see, this is a long-term prediction. And if you want to see which sectors are in strong uptrend, I propose this is a stock pickers market. You want to go with momentum stocks. I would not do swing trading right now. I would not do high beta stocks, right? I would just see which stocks are in strong momentum. So if you see semiconductors, you know, the highest ones, so semiconductors leading the market, you can drill into which stocks, like Nvidia. Some of the leisure stocks, right? We've seen Expedia, strong uptrend. Some of the airlines start moving. Metals and miners, right? So you see metals and miners like XME, SLV are in strong uptrend, right? Some of the specialty retail stocks are in strong uptrend. So then you would go into these sectors and trade, right? So that's stock forecast toolbox, right? If you have tools membership, you have access to stock forecast toolbox, and then you have access to our models. Active trader gets updated every day. Right, this is for short-term trading. You hold in position a couple days. Weekly trader gets updated on Sunday. You hold position for a couple weeks. And monthly trader, you know, gets updated also every Sunday. You know, this is you hold position for a couple months. And active trader, I'm a shorter aggressive trader, so I like active trader. A lot of my positions come, you know, if you follow my trade, you see like Nvidia, right? So Nvidia is a perfect example where I traded Nvidia today. So let's just look at, so Elite Circle, these are the tools, right? The models, output of the models you have to manage on your own, right? It gives you suggested entry prices, like for Nvidia. Buy at 170, buy at 173.74. If it gets to 175, it's probably overbought and you want to start thinking about closing, right? Nvidia is at 174.40. right? And then in the live trading room, every morning bell and closing bell, Keith and I are actually managing these trades, right? So, I close Google's iron condor, so I trade options and take advantage of the market volatility. So I sold iron condor on Google, closed that, and I traded Nvidia. So let's look last 7 days. All right, so I bought Nvidia option. All right, so let's look. So some of them are either stock or option, depending what you're more comfortable with. So Nvidia bought at 350, closed at 5, right? Or you can buy stock. I bought stock at 172.90 and trimmed half the position today at 174.40. Some of our subscribers are stock traders, some of them are option traders. So I start doing more example where I do both, example of both. We've seen, what did I do? Google, right? We talked about Google. This is iron condor, aggressive, right? This is overnight. I was able to collect 51 cents, right? 50 cents on the risk, $2 risk, right? So 25% profit overnight, right? Sometimes I do directional trades on earnings, looking for, 50%, 150% return. But these are very aggressive trades, right? So I try to do a combination of both conservative and aggressive trades. So you can kind of see examples. You can enter your phone number, email, SMS message. You'll get your SMS message, and Any questions on the lead circle? I mean, this is a combination of stock and options that you can follow, right? Either with SMS messages or participate in live or watch the recording of live trading room. You can only, if you're looking for stock trades idea only, robo-investor, right? Every 2 weeks, there is a new signal, right? We're showing you a new stock position. So you can look at the orders position, same thing. If you want options or option spreads, it's the premium spread service. This is every Sunday, right? Model runs and we find the position. Usually I hold it for a couple of weeks, maybe a month. Lately it's been just a few weeks. And that's been a great performing portfolio where I trade spreads. So like Nvidia spread was one of the example, General Electric recently, Caterpillar. So these are all recent trades, and you get one trade idea a week basically, with specific entry, exit points, and you get. And I trade these signals, so I trade in my own portfolio. I'm invested into these signals, and you can have access to them as well. We talked about models: active trader, weekly trader, monthly trader, both stock or option. Right? Suggested entry prices, exit prices. We have our chatbot, right? We think of ourselves as AI company. So ask a question, let's see, what is strategy? Let's see if it's fixed. A means that's performance. Is it no? Okay. Thanks. Okay. What about what is active trader? Okay, so we need to start improving this. Bullet board, let's see. What was signal chart? website. So obviously AI model. So it gives, we're working on the AI models not only for our signals, but also helping navigate the website as well. Any questions? So we went through Elite Circle, Robo-Investor, research tools, right? We went over seasonality. So if you're looking for seasonality, like on spiders, very high correlation, higher highs, higher lows. August for spiders, equal weighted S&P still has been relatively good, right? So it usually reaches the peak and pulls back in September, right? September, October timeframe. But you can see it's overbought. MACDs are overbought. Fisher transform is getting to these overbought levels. What else? You can look at the probability calculator for spiders. Basically gives you the same information. We could be at 650, right, in the next 50 days. We could be at 620. This is historical volatility. This is not implied volatility. 620, consider buying. 650, consider selling, right? We're right at the 640 level. What else? So these are some of the tools. We have events, right? So webinars, you're there, live trading room, and free content. We have YouTube channel, we have a support, right? If chat AI doesn't give you a good answer, then we do have a live support. You can schedule on a one-on-one consultation, right? You can open up a support ticket, we'll answer them. Humans will answer them. And then what else? We have newsletters, right? So we have newsletters, we have that you will get. And we have a learning center. If you want to learn about options, there's a lot of webinars, like workshop recordings, smart guides that you can also read. All right, any other questions? All right, 9:56. Andre, Ad, Michelle, Santiago, Simon, Tim, any other questions? I mean, I covered everything that I think I wanted. We're at all-time high, making marginal high at 6,400. I think we're getting close to that. Tesla is recovering, so that's always positive. Texas Instrument rebounding. IBM continues to be weak. Google's flat, copper. Intel earnings down 10% today at session low. Kroger pulled back, Delta Airline. So today is kind of a mixed, right? Not a lot of momentum. All right, any questions? All right, if there are no other questions, that's all I have for today. You guys have been awesome. Thank you very much. Have a great day and weekend, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday. Try Elite Circle, right? We do give 30 days money back guarantee. You have access to Keith and I in live trading room recordings. You get signals, so it will help you to become a better and more successful trader. Thank you very much and have a great day.